Hello and welcome to all my phone flipping friends and family. I'm Eric Strand, and lately I've had a whole bunch of people messaging me asking me for more information about Instagram. So I want to put this video together and talk about my history with Instagram, how it came to be, and why I'm absolutely 100% convinced that Instagram is the best platform for us as phone flippers. So if we back up a little bit, I started flipping phones about 2 years ago. Prior to that, I had a background in the live music industry. I'd had an Instagram page myself for several years, but I never ever used it. I didn't know anything about it. And it was actually my New Year's resolution to get on Instagram because I figured I've got all these cool pictures of concerts and nightclubs and backstage stuff, and I wanted to post it online because they're cool pictures. So actually, I made my very first post on Instagram on January 1st, 2019. I think it was a show for KC and the Sunshine Band or something like that. That's when I started playing with Instagram. A few short months later, I got into the phone flipping industry because I kind of came to the realization that there's just no money in music and I was tired of being broke. So I got into phone flipping. And I really didn't know what I was doing at first. I'm just throwing everything at the wall to see what would stick and what would generate me leads to pick up some phones and hopefully be profitable. I created a Facebook page and an Instagram page on the very same day. At the time, I was listening to a lot of the motivational speaker named Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V. If you've ever listened to Gary, he's all about Instagram. He's talking about it all the time. So I set up an Instagram page for my business. I didn't really know anything about the platform. I had no idea how to build a business on there. I didn't know how to utilize it. I didn't know where it was going to go. I had no idea how to monetize it. I just figured I'm going to make an Instagram page for my business and go from there and see what happens. Now, during this time, the phone flipping landscape was very, very different. Okay. Because we pretty much relied on free ads and free platforms to generate leads. So we were using OfferUp and Marketplace and Craigslist and etc. To generate our leads. A few months into it, the industry had a very major shift as many of us got into paid ads on Facebook. And this is how we could really quantify our results and scale our business. So I'm getting into paid ads, but I never really had much luck with it. I live in Miami, Florida, and I watched all the videos over and over and over. I copied it, everything in the video said, and no matter what, I just could not get good results on Facebook. My ad costs were always very high. At best, they'd be getting like $2 a lead. It was usually $3, $4, $5 a lead or more. I actually met some the phone flipping marketers in person a while back, and when we were all hanging out at night, we were all kind of chatting, and we came to the realization that for whatever reason, Florida is just very expensive. I don't know if it's just because there's a lot of people that live here and there's limited real estate online. Who knows? But this was not something that I had just seen in myself. This is something that I've seen with many other phone flippers that are in Florida. We have very expensive ad costs. We figure, okay, we just got to deal with it. It is what it is. One day I tried to boost a post on Instagram. I saw you could, give you this option, and I was like, okay, let me try this out and see what happens. At first, I started with like $5 a day, and it worked. I got some leads and I picked up some phones. So then I ramped it up a little bit, going, $7, $8 a day, and then $10, $15, $20 a day. It got to a point where I would set up a campaign on Thursday night because it would take, a few hours and a while for it to get approved and start running ads for you. And I would run that campaign for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at $30 a day. And then my phone would just ring all weekend long, and this would keep me busy picking up phones and generating a profit. And this is actually my main platform that I've been using for a long time ever since then. I was trying to get Facebook working because I saw other people having success with it, but I just could never, ever get good results on Facebook. But in the background, this Instagram thing was working, even though I didn't really know much about the platform and I didn't really know how to utilize it or optimize it. And by the way, I wouldn't really recommend boosting a post right now. There's much better methods to go about advertising on Instagram, but for the time being, it was working back then. So, this really got me thinking that, there's some potential here on Facebook. On Instagram. And it was kind of weird because every time I would meet somebody, whether it would be from OfferUp or Letgo or Craigslist or Facebook, I'd always ask them, hey, by the way, are you on Instagram? Can I follow you? And I swear, no joke, 99% of the people that I met were all on Instagram. I mean, everybody I met was on Instagram. The only people I ever met and bought phones from that were not on Instagram were the people that I'm meeting up with to buy, let's say, 5 brand new in the box financed phones. For some reason, these people like to be a little bit anonymous. I don't know why. I'm not here to ask questions. I'm just saying. But, the more I saw that people were all on Instagram and, that I was able to get leads on there, it really got the gears turning and got me thinking, wow, there's some potential here. So I started studying Instagram like I studied electrical engineering. Prior to getting into phone flipping, I went back to school, got a degree in electrical engineering. It's actually over there somewhere. And basically I would, sit in my apartment for days on end and find every last video on YouTube and article and blog on Instagram to learn more about the platform and try and implement these things on my page and experiment and figure out what worked and what did not. It was lots of trial and error, mostly error at the time, but hey, that's how we learn, right? And the more I learned about it, the more I got interested and I saw the potential of Instagram. And I just thought, wow, this is powerful. There's definitely some opportunity here. And so the more I did research, I'm just like, yeah, this is it. And there's actually one fact that I learned. And when I learned this, that was game over. I said, okay, I'm so done with Facebook. I'm going all in with Instagram now. I'm going to, continue to study it and learn everything I can about this app. Now, Instagram is, it's a very simple app, but there's a lot going on in the back end and, behind the scenes. But anyways, I've got a question for you. How old do you think is the average user on Facebook? Okay. Again, how old is the average person that's using Facebook? How old are they? Okay. The answer is 40.5 years old. Now we think about this. That's a little bit older. If the average is, let's say, 40 years old, that's going to say that half of these people are older than 40 and half of them are younger than 40. And if we think about it, who's on Facebook? Everybody is on Facebook. Your mom and dad, your aunt and uncle, maybe even your grandma and grandpa, your boss, your neighbor. All these people are on Facebook. Meanwhile, there's Instagram. Now, the main demographic of Instagram is primarily 18 to 35. And I don't know about yourself, but for me, that's pretty much all the people that I'm buying phones and electronics from. They're all about 18 to 35 years old. So, it's definitely a great demographic that is using Instagram. It's much more fitting than, let's say, Facebook, where a lot of the people on there are not going to be the kind of people that are sending us a message to sell their cell phone. Okay. Now, what's really interesting and what I've learned is that with Facebook, you can tell people what you do, whereas Instagram, you can show people what you do. Your Facebook page, it's just that. It's a Facebook page for your business. If you don't have a brick and mortar store, what is your business, right? Your Facebook page, you can have your hours and your address and some background info and some ads that say we buy phones or we buy electronics, whatever. That's really, the most we can utilize Facebook. But with Instagram, we can show people what we're doing. And the way I like to think about it is imagine that you are standing in the parking lot of a cell phone store. That's Facebook, okay? you're looking at the front of the store. You see the storefront and you see some signs and banners in the window saying, we buy phones, we do activations, we repair phones, whatever. They're just telling you what they do. Okay? That's Facebook. Instagram, you are actually inside the store. You see the other people walking around. You see the products on the shelf. You can see the guy behind the counter and get to know him a little bit. And you can really see if, they're putting an effort into making it a nice place, or are they neglecting it? So it's very, very powerful. Especially if we put ourselves in our seller's shoes. Let's say they've got a $500 phone that they want to sell. They want to make sure that we are legit. And if you're on Facebook, there's just not really a way to generate trust and credibility like there is on Instagram. Now, let's look at this a little deeper, okay? If we go way back, Facebook was originally a website, right? And that's still really where it shines. That's where it's going to be the easiest to use, is on your computer sitting behind your desk. Yes, there is a mobile app, which is pretty good. Don't get me wrong. It's a very great app. But for ease of use and convenience, Facebook is just much better and easier to use on your computer. Whereas Instagram is made for mobile. There is a website. You can go to Instagram.com and navigate it from there, but it's not a very good experience. It's not fluid. It's not user-friendly. I don't even think you can upload posts from the Instagram website. But Instagram is made for mobile. So what does this tell us? Basically, every single person on Instagram is holding a smartphone in their hands. So what are we in the market of? Smartphones. Who are we buying them from? 18 to 35-year-olds. Where are all of them? They're all on Instagram. I'm even seeing and learning a lot that, a lot of people are kind of leaving Facebook. They've kind of gotten tired of it. But for a lot of the younger generation, especially people 18 to 25 or so, they are only on Instagram. They don't even have a Facebook page because Facebook is not really cool. That's what your mom and dad use, right? So, a lot of these younger generation kids, they're only on Instagram as their main social media platform. Now, let's look at some numbers. Facebook has 190 million users in the United States. Okay, whereas Instagram has 120 million. Now, this makes sense because, again, the average Facebook user is 40 years old. So there's lots of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s or 80s maybe. They're all on Facebook. Whereas Instagram is a much younger demographic, okay? But there's still 120 million users in the United States on Instagram. If we go to the App Store, particularly the Apple App Store, I'm not sure about the Google App Store, but on the Apple side, Facebook has a rating of 2.7 stars out of 5, whereas Instagram has 4.8. So Instagram it's a very popular app, and it's rated very, very highly inside the App Store. Now, Facebook, more than anything, is a tool. Okay, it's really good for networking and keeping in touch with your friends and family and your associates and your coworkers, whatever. And especially for us in the phone flipping industry, it's great for the groups. This is a place where we can all get together and network with people in our industry and share ideas and ask questions, all stuff. It's great for that. But is it fun? Not really. Whereas Instagram is fun. It delivers you fun content. It's made for posting content. If you are into pizza and cats and motorcycles, you're going to find hundreds, if not thousands or even tens of thousands of pages on Instagram, all geared toward pizza and cats and motorcycles. If that's what you're into, you can just go to your Explore page on Instagram and you will find a never-ending supply of this kind of content. I mean, you can literally scroll forever and it will never end, just delivering you content that it thinks is relevant to you and your interests. It is genuinely a fun app. I enjoy using Instagram, and I've dove down that rabbit hole before, and you just Before you know it, hours have passed by because you've just finding all this random crazy content and all this cool stuff that the platform is delivering to you. Whereas on Facebook, the only thing you're really seeing is stuff that your network, your friends are sharing, whether you like it or you're interested or not. That's what you're seeing is just what everybody else is sharing. Whereas Instagram, you're going to be seeing much more of stuff that you are interested in and is relevant to you. Now, Facebook has not really changed for a while. It's kind of been the same for quite a long time. Recently, they implemented stories, which are all right, but stories are really awesome on Instagram. I know there's some pages that I follow that post upwards of 50, 60, even 80 or more stories every single day. Meanwhile, Instagram continues to evolve and add features. It really seems like this is where Mark Zuckerberg and the Facebook family, because again, Facebook owns Instagram, this is really where they're focusing all their energy at the moment. Okay, recently they have implemented what they call Reels, and this is kind of their answer to TikTok, using that kind of media and implementing it on the Instagram platform. They've also recently implemented a shopping section. So if you have a store, you can actually sell your product on Instagram. Now, I don't personally use this, but this option is there and it seems to be very, very popular. If you are a store, you don't necessarily need to have a website anymore. You can actually just use Instagram and, show your store, show off your product and your service, and sell your product all straight from the application. It's very, very powerful, and there's really a lot going on within the app. But most of all, what makes Instagram different than Facebook is that Instagram is cool. Okay, it's a genuinely cool app. It is popular. Now, if we think about the music that we're listening to that's popular on the radio right now, how many pop stars and rappers do you hear singing and talking about Facebook? I mean, I can't really think of anyone rapping "Let's be friends" on Facebook. No, it just doesn't happen. Meanwhile, all these very popular artists are all about Instagram. And I'm talking, Nicki Minaj, 6ix9ine, Cardi B, A$AP Ferg, Megan Thee Stallion, even Yo Gotti. He's got a song called Down in the DMs, and part of the lyrics say, I love the gram, I'm addicted to it, I know I am. The rapper Fetty Wap, he's got a song literally called Instagram. On the flip side, in the EDM dance music area, David Guetta and Daddy Yankee have a song that is called Instagram. Okay, Instagram is, it is cool. It is popular. In particular, Cardi B and 6ix9ine, they have basically built their entire persona on Instagram before they ever got popular and blew up in the mainstream. They were all on Instagram and using that to really build themselves up and build their brand, before their music really caught on. It's popular. You're going to hear it all the time, especially if you look around, keep your eyes open. I'm seeing lots of stores and restaurants now. They're not really saying like us on Facebook. Instead, they'll say follow us on Instagram. I know there's a couple food trucks I've seen recently, and they've got a little sign up front that just says, hashtag us at, whatever hashtag. Follow us on Instagram. This is the place to be, and this is really where a lot of businesses have focused their attention lately. Now, to generate leads on Instagram, I use paid ads using the Facebook Ads Manager. But this requires a very, very different approach and setup and configuration. Even the media that we use on Instagram is very, very different than Facebook. And what's cool about Instagram is what I like to call residual advertising. Kind of we're playing the long game here. Now imagine you're on Facebook and you're scrolling, and an advertisement pops up. It says, I buy phones. Now, someone sees that and they've got a phone for sale. Great. Hopefully you get that lead and you can close the deal. On Instagram though, let's say someone is scrolling and they see your ad, says I buy phones, and they get curious. So they go check out your page. And maybe they don't have a phone for sale that day, but they browse your page for a little bit. They're looking at all the different content, and you're showing them and building trust and credibility. And they're going to give you a follow. Whereas on Facebook, there's not really a way that's very easy and convenient to follow a page. I guess you could like a page, but not many people are going to do that if you just have a couple advertisements up. They're probably not going to save your page, but Instagram makes it very, very easy to follow a page. And then every time you post, it's kind of like giving them a little nudge, saying, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm still here. I'm still buying phones." So then later on down the line, 3-6 months later, when that person is ready to upgrade their phone, or maybe they break theirs, oh yeah, there's that page I follow on Instagram that's posting all the time. Let me hit them up and see if they want to buy my phone. And actually, I saw this in action. There was a period last year where I took about 2 months off of phone flipping to work on some other projects. I didn't run a single ad, yet I still did about $10,000, $12,000 in sales that month. And some of it was from repeats, but a lot of it was from people that had been following me for many, many months before. But they didn't have a device for sale at the time. But when the new phones came out, everyone's ready to upgrade and sell their old phones. Oh yeah, let me go hit up that guy on Instagram and see if he wants to buy my phone. So, even though they saw my ad many, many months ago, I wasn't getting the lead until, they were ready many months later. And so, this still allowed me to do, have rather profitable months, even though I wasn't even advertising at all. And this is just because people had been following my page and, kind of keep it in their back pocket for when they did have a device for sale. It's really, we're playing the long game here. Now, with Instagram, what's really cool about it is that Instagram, you can actually build a business on there. Whereas on Facebook, it's really just a Facebook page for your business. If you don't have a brick and mortar store, what is it representing? Instagram, you can actually build your business on there. Okay, this is something that's very, very new for our industry, which we have not really, it's not really been done before. If we think about, is posting a bunch of anonymous ads on Craigslist, is that a business? Not particularly. It works, it generates leads, but I would hesitate to really call that a business. Same with Facebook Marketplace. Is a bunch of fake accounts posting ads on Marketplace, is that a business? Not really. Yeah, it works, you can generate leads that way, but it's not really a business. Facebook, it generates leads, but if you don't have a store, what is your business? Meanwhile, there's Instagram, and you can actually build a business on Instagram. I've built my entire business on Instagram. That's the only platform I use anymore. Basically, I consider Instagram is kind of like endgame for people that are serious about their business and is flipping phones full time and, really taking it seriously. For a while, we all used the free platforms. We were using Craigslist and OfferUp, Letgo, Marketplace, and they had their time and place, but, the market has shifted a little bit. Those methods just don't really work anymore. And then we all got into Facebook paid ads, which, it worked. It was great. But personally, I think that Instagram is the next big thing. And ultimately, anyone that's serious about their business needs to be on Instagram. It's just, there's this massively untapped market. Now, in my area, Facebook is very, very saturated. I'm in Miami, Florida, possibly one of the most competitive areas in the country. I know I've got probably, 8 to 10 heavy hitters in my area, all running ads on Facebook at, sufficient budgets. I feel like every time I get on Facebook, I see some other ads by some new business popped up saying, I buy phones, top prices paid, top buyer, whatever. Every day I see that on Facebook. So I've got, let's say 8 to 10 people all competing with each other on Facebook for these leads. Meanwhile, I'm the only person on Instagram in my area. I essentially have the entire city and market cornered, and all to myself. And I've got basically no competition at all on Instagram. It is just this massively untapped market. Facebook was very, very successful for a long time, but now it's gotten a little bit saturated, especially because the barrier to entry is so low. Anybody can take an hour or two and build up a Facebook page, start pumping in money, and then generating leads. And, people do it. Lots of cities have gotten very, very flooded, and people have seen their ad costs rising significantly over the past, 6-12 months or so. Meanwhile, there's this ginormous untapped market. Again, there's 120 million users on Instagram in the United States. This is the place to be, guys. There's just so much potential here on Instagram. And, also with Instagram, what's really cool, we have not only paid ads, but we can use influencer advertising, where you can basically pay other pages and advertise with them. Here in Miami, there's some local pages that are very, very large. One in particular is a local page that's all focused on Miami stuff and news and crazy videos, whatever. At the time I reached out to them, they had 750,000 followers. And I hit them up, said, hey, how much do you charge for advertising? And they said they will run 8 stories for $200. There were 750,000 people. Now let's say even 10% of those followers see that story. That's 75,000 people that we are able to reach for $200. Now, that page has actually grown very significantly since this happened. They've actually got over 1 million followers at the time of right now. So, we can pay them and potentially reach this just absolutely massive market of people. And because it's on Instagram, we know that every single one of them has a smartphone in their hands. I mean, just the potential is massive. It's something I've played with a little bit and had good results with, but I'm just staying more than busy just running simple paid ads. I mean, I literally can't even keep up. Sometimes I just need to turn my ads off for a week just because I need to, I have so many phones and devices built up that I need to take some time off and get them sold before I can hit the pavement again and get back to business. So as of right now, Instagram is the only platform that I use to generate leads for phone flipping. I don't deal with Craigslist. I don't deal with Marketplace, Craigslist OfferUp, none of that stuff I deal with. Facebook, like I said, I never really had much luck there. My leads were always very expensive, and I've got a whole bunch of competition to deal with. So, personally, Instagram is the only platform that I've used. And I've been doing it about 2 years now, and I'm just, so excited to see where this goes. Because after a while, your page kind of takes on a life of its own and really generates, a lot of interest and starts growing organically. It's very, very cool. And there's just so much potential because you can really make your page yours. Whereas if we think about it, on Facebook, all these pages are relatively the same. They look the same, and then they've all kind of got the same ads that say, I buy phones, I buy electronics, and that's it. Whereas on Instagram, this is the opportunity to really make it yours and put your own spin on it and customize it in a way that you like. My page will be much different than your page, will be different than his page and hers page. It's very, very open as far as how you want to approach this platform and how you want to build up your business. You have so much freedom in there. And a lot of the content that I post on Instagram is much, it wouldn't be good on Facebook. For example, sometimes I'll take a picture of my cat with some phones sitting next to him. That's not an advertisement. I'm not telling people I buy phones or anything. It's just a fun picture with my cat and some phones. This kind of content would not really be good on Facebook. It's very spammy. But on Instagram, it's a different story. This content it's very good. It just really kind of shows off my personality, my character a little bit. And it's fun. More than anything, it's fun. It's just it adds to your page and helps build up and kind of show people who you are and what you're about. And you just can't really do this on Facebook. Which is, again, this is so cool how we can take Instagram and really take it in any direction that you want. So yeah, that's about all I've got to tell you about Instagram and why I know that it's the best platform for us as phone flippers. I do offer some coaching. If this is something that you may be interested in learning about Instagram and learn how to utilize it for your business and start making a profit on Instagram, you can feel free to send me a message, and we can jump on a call and get to know each other a little bit and see if that we are a good fit for each other. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available. Not always. I pick up a lot of phones and stuff too, but I'll get back to all of you guys. So feel free to reach out. I'd be very happy to work together, and let's get you up and rolling on Instagram and making profit on there. All right, guys, I think that's about all I've got for now. I really hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.